Hi, if you're a veteran or know a veteran, please stay tuned and keep watching. Today we are going to talk to Danny Andrade, who is here to give us information on how to use your veteran benefits. My name's Ronette Puello. We are here in Pleasanton at the Keller Williams office. Danny, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
This is really important to me because I've been serving a lot of veterans with their mortgages, getting VA loans, helping them get houses with no down payment. But Danny's a good friend of mine, and tell us about what you do to help veterans.
So I am a veterans advocate, basically a veteran service officer that I created my nonprofit company called Real Vet Reps, which stands
Real
for
Vet Reps?
Real Vet Reps, which
Okay.
stands for Real Veterans Representatives.
Okay.
And I'm here with Ronette basically to talk about how I help veterans, which is I help veterans with their claims of medical disabilities, regarding PTSD outreach. We help with homelessness. We help with many other factors of
Oh, wow.
any veterans. Which
Wow. So it's not just like loans or anything. You're
Correct.
here with every single benefit the VA provides.
Correct. So, a
Wow.
veteran, and I kind of jumped into this sideways
Yeah.
with veterans that weren't getting the service they needed.
Mm-hmm.
They were working with different, county veteran service organizations and different organizations around the county and state that they were just taken and thrown back out to the wild
Right,
without being
right.
served properly. So,
Or you get like other different services. Well, we'll call this 800 number. Well, go to that website.
Yeah.
And then you go and you're like, okay, I'm still lost. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's hearing me. Like, I need people. I need to talk to a person. Like, so are you that, you're that advocate to talk?
I am. I'm that guy that the veteran can call me directly. I'm a veteran of the Persian Gulf War, and so
Okay.
I'm understanding of the PTSD and all the intricate details of how that all works out and how they think. And a veteran we can communicate directly on my cell phone, and a lot of times they'll get with me just on how do I submit a claim, Danny? How do I present a claim properly, because they've been denied before.
Okay.
They weren't. They were
Right.
submitted claim years ago and they were denied, whether you're in Vietnam War or you're, Persian Gulf War, a lot of times they were denied. And then these veterans have a negative attitude toward the VA. And so I kind of step in there and saying, let's do it with a process. And we
Okay.
put together a game plan, and
Right.
we put together that game plan and submit it properly.
Right.
And then a lot of times they're approved.
Right.
And a lot of times it's just a coach. You need a coach. You need somebody that says, hey,
Yep.
Danny, what do I do with this? And I'm the guy. I'm the
Yeah.
guy that tells them, hey, let's communicate 30 minutes prior to the exam they're going to have, and they know exactly how to say it and what to say
Right.
with the right attitude. A lot of times these guys go in there with a hammer
Yeah.
and they want to jackhammer something and it doesn't work out really well.
So I personally know your history a little bit, but can you tell everyone your own history, like where you started and your military experience that would make you qualified to start a veterans nonprofit?
So it goes way back. I was in the military, back in the Navy, back in the days, and joined in 1987. I left in 1994, 95 area, and I had a lot of disabilities that I didn't realize. And back in the days, you were told not to submit a disability because they were going to hold you hostage in the military.
Oh.
So things have changed. But as time went on and I got older, things started to surface with my disabilities, and so I started doing things myself with no help. I went through multiple different organizations, and nobody was able to kind of assist me in the right direction. And so
Okay.
finally, I kind of just self-learned
Right.
everything.
Right.
And when I finally self-learned, I kind of said, I can't do that, and I
Right.
can do that.
Right.
And then I eventually got it to a point where I was able to be really proficient.
Right.
And then I started getting hold of other veterans that are having the same issues.
Okay.
And then I started cranking it up. And about 5 years ago, I was like, why don't I just do this kind of the right way? And then as of last year, I'd said, let's just not create a nonprofit, no cost to the veteran,
Right.
just call me, we'll put together a program.
Okay, so
and we'll
there's
do it.
no cost, if someone calls you for the assistance,
Yeah.
and I know you've helped a couple friends of ours who live out of state, so you
Yeah.
go to the, is it worldwide or United States
United
wise?
States. And
United States
I
wise.
haven't done out of the country yet, but I'm open to that.
Okay.
There's new
And
challenges.
they call you and you're gonna assist them, but there's no fee
There's no fee.
There's no fee. So it's a completely
I'm a friend.
donation funded.
Correct. So
Okay.
I have a lot of previous clients of my BMW business that I've done for years and years and years, and so I elicit donations from them, and they help my organization out. But to the veteran itself,
Okay.
I take care of if there's any medical exams that I schedule appointments for them with another doctor.
okay.
Like I'll schedule with 2 different people, one of our friends, for this next month, where we're going to have a doctor to evaluate them from
Right.
previous denials of the VA.
Oh.
And anytime you have evidence that is equal to or above the previous denials, it'll overrun those denials and all create approvals for them,
Okay.
which gets them the disability benefits, compensation, housing. I mean, it's a boundless amount of things that we can do for them.
Do you have a couple examples of? So you started the nonprofit. Did you say 5 years ago is when you started?
5
helping
years is
people?
when I started helping other veterans.
Helping other veterans, and just now you're really starting the whole. Is it a 501c?
501c3.
Okay, 501c3. Can you give us a couple specific? I know it's very anonymous.
Yeah.
But a couple specific situations that you help people in?
Yeah, so this is one guy that is really dear to my heart. We call him Mr. Richard. He's in Delaware, and he was a referral from another veteran I helped and who I served with on the ship.
Okay.
And he says, "Hey, Danny, can you help this guy, Richard?" And he's a Vietnam War veteran, and he needs some help. Call him. So I called him, and he was like, he's got a southern drawl to it, kind of from Delaware, and it was, and he says, "Danny, I need help." And I said, "What can I do for you?" He says, "Danny, the VA's turned me down so many times in the past, but I just want teeth."
Oh.
I said, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He says, "I want some new teeth."
Yeah.
And so I said, "Well, tell me more about it." He goes, "Well, when I was in Vietnam,
Yeah.
a year after I got out back in 1971, my teeth started falling out."
Oh.
And I said, "It's incredible." I said, "Okay, well, that's a disposition of Agent Orange."
Right.
I knew that right away. You can
Right.
Google that. It's
Right.
right out there. It really touched my heart. And he says, "Can you help me with this?" And I said, "Oh my God, not only going to help you, I'm going to submit these claims properly.
Right,
And we're going
right.
to talk before you go to these claims." And I got his daughter involved, his other family members.
Okay.
And
So you don't just give him the forms, you coach him
I submitted it for him. I said,
for
"If you-"
every appointment, you help make the appointment and then
Yeah.
coach them through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally, we were on the phone how to do it. Before he went to the exam, he was prepared for the exam. He walked into the exam knowing exactly what they're going to ask him.
Yeah.
At the end of the exam, "Tell me what happened." He's on the phone with me.
Yeah.
And he said, "This is what happened." And then we're on the phone. I talk to him at least every couple weeks. What's going on? And I took him from a 0% rating with no help
Yeah.
to an 80% disability. And we're still trying to get him to 100% disability.
Okay.
And it changed his life. It's
Oh.
great, where he went from
Can you imagine?
$0 a month to almost $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
And disability pay. He's got
Yeah.
new teeth.
Yeah.
He got, he's got diabetes and all the current signs of Agent Orange. And he's still living, but he's living a better life.
Okay.
And that's the goal.
Okay.
Is living a better life. And it's
Okay.
changed him. And his family and his daughters call me, "Oh my God, things have changed," and he's happier now. And it's not just money.
Right.
He's getting treatment. He's
Right.
going to the doctor. He's
Yeah.
getting the maybe medication that he needs for PTSD and
Right.
all those years that he used to deal with that.
Because like
without
I
any
saw
help.
on your website, you were talking about the number of suicides
Oh my God.
that
Yeah.
happen, and this could stem from a lot of that. Like you just feel lost
Yeah.
trying to get the help you need,
Truly.
trying to get the medical help, trying to get the benefits you need,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, forget it.
Yeah,
know,
with the
it's
VA,
just too hard.
a VA is a very big organization, a big umbrella,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, where do I begin? And a lot of veterans are just in dismay, like, what do I start here or do I start here? Do I start in the middle? They just don't know, and so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
unless you know where the step-by-step process is,
Mm-hmm.
it's sometimes guys just give up and they throw their hands up.
Right, right.
And there's some veterans that they're older
Uh-huh.
and they don't, they try to get help and
Yeah.
they're denied, and they put in benefits and then they die because of some of these issues.
Right.
The benefits are gone. So, I had many years ago, I had he was a World War II vet, and when I was trying to seek help, and I felt like I didn't want to ask for help I didn't want to trouble anybody. I didn't want to be, you know, a baby
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
You know, and this old World War II guy says, looks at me and he says, Danny, you know, you got some hearing issues, and because I'm loud, I'm, you know, and
Yeah.
he says, yeah, but you know, you worked in a flight deck of a carrier, and this is what you did. And I said, yeah, I have those issues, but I don't want to trouble anybody. He says, are you stupid? And I said, no, I'm not. And anyway, he was trying to give
I
me
hope
the
you don't
loving-
say that to your clients.
No, but he kind of gave it to me, and I said, no, sir, I'm not.
Yeah.
He says, I don't want to trouble anybody.
Right,
That was the whole
right,
bottom line.
right.
And he says, do you pay taxes?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. He says, does the government ever kind of skip a year and say, you know, Danny, you're a veteran, don't worry about
Yeah,
paying taxes
yeah,
this year?
yeah.
I said, no. He said, then you shouldn't feel bad about
Right.
getting those benefits you deserve.
Yeah.
And that's when I woke
And
up
then
to
it's
reality.
how do you do that?
So
And it's how
then
do you
it
do
kind
that?
of grew from that
Yeah,
point. And so
yeah.
I tell veterans that story, and they go, then they don't feel bad about trying to ask for those benefits.
Okay, I just have one thing to say, and then I'm going to have you tell everyone how they can get a hold of you.
Okay.
First of all, never ever since I've known you have you ever talked against joining the military.
Never.
Or this is not about being against military life at all. It's, I mean, you're very proud of your military life. It's
Yes.
more about how do you proceed now after your military life.
Correct.
So I just want to make that clear,
Yeah.
that you're very proud of your time in the service.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, yeah.
Very grateful
So-
for it.
So, but sometimes we all need help on
Correct.
something. We all need coaching. He helped me buy my car. He's
Yeah.
also a car broker.
I do all kinds
I
of
couldn't
stuff.
do it by myself. He did it for me. So, how do people that are interested, or even just have a question, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I have a website set up. It's called realvetreps.com or realvetreps.org. It goes to the same place. There's a contact form on there. Hit that. It goes right to me. I see every email. I call everybody back. There's not a day that goes by that, I
Okay.
mean, there's always, I'm not talking to veterans all day. And,
Okay.
and we can start with, hey, how's it going? And you feel comfortable, or we can meet, or if it's a Zoom, or if it's, you know, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
One way I'm going to
Okay.
connect with you.
Okay.
And if I can't, you know, there's other people that we can connect with. You know, there's veterans that have PTSD, and sometimes they just want to talk.
Yeah.
And who just talk, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had another veteran.
So you're kind of a therapist too.
Yeah, I am. And,
You're
you
a
know,
little bit of everything.
and I can understand that. I had another
Yeah.
veteran that needed PTSD outreach and you know, substance abuse issues with
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. And sometimes families, I also talk to families about
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
don't understand the dynamics of what a PTSD is and how that
Yeah.
all they understand is how it affects their life, but they don't understand what the veteran feels.
Right,
And so
right.
I get involved with that. So sometimes I explain to the veterans' families, the wives, the spouses, hey, this is how it works when you're at war. And
Right.
then after they
Right.
explain that, they really feel more comfortable. Like,
Right.
don't give up the fight. You know,
Right.
don't give up the marriage.
Right.
It's easy to walk away. A lot of times it just needs to be communicated with how veterans are going through their
Yeah.
things.
You
So,
need those advocates.
You
for
do.
Sure. For
So
sure.
I'm here.
Well, all your contact information will be down in the comments
Yep.
also. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
the opportunity.
Yeah. Love
Thank
you.